finally got our hands on some Boost Auto Ford new style tow mirrors for the F-150. We got the factory mirrors on this thing. They're fine and all, but if we're making this truck wide, that means we got to get some wider mirrors, hence the Boost Auto mirrors. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up here. A little odd, the camera positioning we have today, but I'm trying new things. We'll see how it goes. Let's take a look at that. Assembled in the US of A. That's what I like to see. Very nicely packaged. Oh, the boys at Boost Auto hooked us up. Check that out, guys. This is it. These are the tow style mirrors for your 2015s to 2020 F-150s. Check them out at boostauto.com. This is the 8-pin adapters. Now that's one thing you guys need to take in mind is when you are swapping out your mirrors, you might want to take in consideration what pins you have. This being an XL, we don't have puddle lights, we don't have turn signals, we don't have defrosters. We have the basic generic mirrors, but they are powered, so we can adjust them electronically. This means we have the 8-pin connector. Those of you might have a Lariat or a higher trim model, something like that, you might have a 22-pin connector. The good news is you can definitely set those up when you check them out on the website, guys, so that is always a major plus. The mirrors are from Boost Auto. Not only that, but my running boards over here as well are from Boost Auto. You got to check those out. These are the LumaStep M1s. These two are highly customizable on the website. These sequential turn signals, man, they got me using my turn signal for everything and anything, man. I love it. This thing, oh wow, not that heavy. Oh yeah, guys, look at that. You can see how silly I look with these things, but man, now that's pretty sweet. You got the Boost Auto logo, nice little padding and insulation covers. There's the pins, there's the connectors. All right, now that we got these beautiful mirrors out of packaging, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the features and details of these bad boys we got over here. Again, these are the Boost Auto tow mirrors for F-150 from 2015 to 2020. Now, if you go to the boostautoparts.com website, you can actually build these to spec. That's really the way to get these things. And they have a ton of options that you can get with these mirrors. You can get these caps to be color matched, paint matched. You can get the chrome version, or you can get the black ones, what I got. My truck being an XL, I have a ton of black already on this truck, so it only makes sense to go with this one. But there are a ton of lighting options that you can get here. They have running lights, sequential turn signal lights, switchback lights, all that good stuff. Installation is a breeze on these bad boys. As you can see, we got the little defrost logo there if you have that option. Mine being the 8-pin connector, guys. I don't quite have all those options, but it's nice to know that these things can work for the different models out there. We do have these beautiful lights. You can get these clear lens is what I got, or you can get the smoked out lens. Both options look awesome. We got the Boost Auto logo here scribed on the side. I like the nice stealthy look on these things, guys. These things are telescopic, so we can easily, whenever we're towing, extend these babies out. Or if we want to do a little mating call, we extend out our mirrors, but if not, we keep them in. Let's go ahead and switch gears from talking about the mirrors to the installation of the mirrors. Now, depending on your model, the process is fairly similar. It's about the same. It all involves taking off the trim and taking off the door card here. We do need to gain access to one of the main wiring harnesses that's inside of the door jamb, but all that is fairly simple, and disregard the dirty interior of the F-150. Let's get to it. So here's a quick rundown of everything you're going to need. Super basic stuff. You're going to need a ratchet, you're going to need a 10 mil, you're going to need a 7 mil, maybe an extension to make things easy, an impact gun if you want to make things really easy, some plier cutters, some picks, flathead, and you're going to need some trim removal tools here, we got here, and then this wire to run the blue wire that comes with the mirrors. You're going to need this and run it through. Basically taped one end and just fished it through the other end. We'll go ahead and lower our window here all the way. This will make it easier so that we can pop off the old mirror. There we go. Should just pop right out. It's just 4 clips holding it in place. We'll put that to the side. This is how you'll know what kind of pin connector you'll have. So if you are looking to order your new tow mirrors and you don't know exactly which ones you have, you just pop off that one piece and you will see our clips here. We'll go ahead and slide this out and we count there. This is the 8-pin connectors. Next thing, we want to pop off these 4 2 nuts, 2 bolts right over here, and then the mirror will be free to go. Now, depending on what kind of mirror you got, all you have to do is just plug in this. But since we have the lighting option, we have a startup sequence as well as the switchbacks, we will need to pop off the door card, and I'll show you that in a little bit, guys. But before all that, let's go ahead and swap out the old with the new. So we just popped off the 2 nuts and the four bolts. Now we can slide this sucker out. If it's the first time taking it off, you might need to give these little studs a little tap, a little persuasion. There we go. All right, if you want a little comparison between the 2 mirrors, there you have it. Tiny, beautiful. We just popped off this trim. Next one is we want to pop this bottom one out. There we go. Just pop right out. There we go. It's just these little 2 tabs here. Put that to the side, and now we have exposed 4 of these bolts here. We got to pop those out. They should be 7 mil. Let's go ahead and swap out my bits here. Next ones. There's 2 7 mils right down here. 1, 2. Oh, we got one more in here. I almost forgot this guy. Now the next thing is prying. You could use your hands. It's just clips holding it in. Oh, great. Dropping stuff here. There we go. Okay, all right. And then we want to lift up. 1, 2 clips there. So far we've reinstalled the new Boost Auto tow mirror. 2 nuts here, 2 bolts there. We ran the wire harness through here. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and loosen up the blue cable here. Let's grab this end, slip it behind the module that you see right here. All right, we'll ride that through. This is our 8-pin connector right here. We'll slide that in as well. We're gonna have to again route this wire here into this door jamb connector, and in order to do that, we're going to have to free up this grommet piece over here. There we go. You can pop off this little plastic sleeve here and run your hand through there, but since our window is down, it might be easier just to pop out the speaker, and to do that, pop this out. There we go. Let's go ahead and remove the 4 screw bolts in this place. I don't think there's 7. Let's find out. Oh, there's 7. Hell yeah. Okay. So we know which is which. Do a quick rundown. Slid a hole through here, carry that blue wire in through there. We had to run it behind that piece that you see right in there. It's behind that. And then we carried it into the door jamb plug. That's through here. You want to pull off, there's a clip and this clip over here, just so that you have more slack and more room to play with. And then you want to do a little slice in that bit, so you can run the blue wire that came with it through here and pin it into the B11 slot. You saw that was the only slot really there. And then unplug these 2 plugs, one clip on the top, 1 clip on the bottom, and then you can pull out those 2 plugs. They have these 2 clips over here and 1 at the bottom to remove it from the door completely. Now when it comes to removing that wire harness boot cover, it is a little tough. You do need to cut that zip tie there from factory, and then there are 2 tabs on top and 1 at the bottom that you need to lightly press, and then it will release itself from the door. Next thing, we moved over to the passenger side, and as you guys can imagine, we sped run through this bad boy. This was like one of the quickest installs. The first attempt on the driver's side took me about an hour to do. Here in the passenger side, I want to say it was probably like 20 minutes, and majority of that time was spent trying to fish out the wire through into the boot cover from earlier. So that part I think is the most time-consuming bit here, but all the steps are essentially the same. We removed the door cover and we ran that blue wire in through that grommet, in which we sliced. Here's what I'm talking about. That took a bit of time here. We had to slice into the factory electrical tape enough to fit that metal wire through and feed it all the way up to where all the main wiring harnesses are at. So I used a little bit of jaw force just to pull it up because this thing was tough. I don't know why it took this long to do, but eventually we did get it out. We ran the blue wire through the opening inside the door, and we taped it up to the metal wire so that we can fish that sucker through onto the other main wiring harness that you saw there. Pulled it up. The next thing you want to make sure is that the blue wire inside the door is not interfering with anything, especially the window, guys. You want to make sure it is clear and has enough clearance and space. Now this is the part where I'm scratching my head like a little chimpanzee because I'm trying to figure out which is the correct pin to do. And then we are pulling back the slack, as you have to make sure that gets out of the way, and tie all that sucker back up. Just completed everything all together only to test it out, and the runner lights weren't working on, so I figured something must be wrong with this connection, and lo and behold, me rushing it, guys, I put it in the opposite one. Driver side is this side, the B11, passenger side is B8 on that side, so I kind of goofed up, but you'll see it. This is the passenger side, so I put it on the wrong side, and it was really tough to get that pin out, but I got it out and it's in the right place now. So let's go ahead and test her out. I'm gonna plug back these two plugs back in, and before I put everything the way it should be, I'm gonna test it out this time. Let's go ahead and test it out. Turn on my emergencies. So oh yeah, look at that, boys. Woo! All the little sequential lights. Check that out, boys. This is auxiliary lights on. Whew. That looks clean. There we have it, folks. Boost Auto tow mirrors, 2015 to 2020 F-150s, guys. Absolutely love this thing for the truck. I feel like those lights now kind of complement and complete the front end on the F-150. The next thing is the sequentials. Let's go ahead and turn on the emergencies so I could show you what it is I'm talking about here. Go ahead and peel this sucker off, and look at that. Loving that sequential. The turn signals, man. See, now this is a good reason to use your turn signal. We got the hazards on. Everyone's gonna know I'm making a left turn or a right turn. I like how it's nicely matched up with the runner boards over here. So we opted with the sequential turn signals. We do have these little lights to indicate for anybody in the back. You can kind of see. We'll turn it off. Oh yeah. There we have it, boys. Boost Auto parts. Check them out. Get the LumaStep M1s, and we got the Boost Auto tow mirrors.